Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be teaching you all about a very unique, diverse crystal which is called Chrysocolla. This is not chrysoprase. Chrysoprase is in this necklace that is so light that it just kind of bobs and weaves around, and in videos you'll see me pulling on it to get it back in order. But yeah, this is chrysoprase between raw emerald and this is Chrysocolla. Look how cool and beautiful this stone is. It actually doesn't have one look. It has 100,000 different looks. It can look however it wants to look. It can come from Peru. It can come from Arizona. Look at this. This is Chrysocolla as a bracelet. So you'll even see as a bracelet, like you're getting you're getting different aspects of the stone all mixed together, which is actually a really good thing because it just has different multifacets. I know what online says. Online says it's a stone of the divine feminine. Yeah, it is a stone of divine feminine. But for me, it's I perceive this as the divine feminine meets the divine masculine, and you just have a swish and a swirl of energies between the heart and soul, in between the throat chakra. Yeah, I have a strong grip. I shouldn't have grabbed myself that hard, but I'm not Darth Vader over here. But look how cool this crystal is. So basically, we have a heart chakra, which is we're gonna simplify it in this video. The green side of the heart chakra, I think, is the heart chakra is being green. It has other colors too, like pink and just different in between colors of green. But yeah, so the heart chakra is a lot more advanced than people think it is, and this is a throat. So I'm not gonna grab myself that hard, but this is a throat. This is the heart. We have chakras between that. Did anyone know that? No. Because it's not really taught online. People are like, oh, yeah, 7 chakras. 7 chakras is it? Yep, I got the 7 down. Oh, great. There's 21 chakras. 21 micro chakras within one chakra, and every chakra has more chakras than we think they do, and they operate in different just energy modes, and they align in different ways than that we thought they do. And this actually governs this chakra. It's the heart, between the heart and throat. Or the heart and throat. I don't know where I was saying the throat was before, but no, this is a throat chakra right here. This is when you put a crystal as a throat chakra crystal and it goes directly on the throat. Your heart center is the energy center of where you give and receive. Specifically, green is more projective, and that's more of the masculine. And where you receive is the pink side of it. But when it comes to the throat chakra, there's a few different throat chakra colors as well. It's mainly this color of blue. But what does that have to do with, what does the throat chakra and the heart chakra have to do with this crystal? Well, if you don't understand either of them, you're going to have a really tough time learning this crystal. And this crystal, which could have been my pendant, but that would have been a beautiful one, actually. This crystal governs these 2 chakras. So what happens when you have the energies of abundance combined with the energies of being able to fluidly speak? I'm going to tell you some kind of very just information you're not going to find online. This is the crystal of just enchanting your words whenever you go to speak in public. Whenever you're public speaking, if you go into a competition with Chrysocolla, that's not a competition. You don't have competition at that point. What you say is going to pierce the soul of the people who perceive whatever you have to say. It is literally the divine feminine. If someone has if you're in a competition and these judges have bias, and they're like, because I've been in competitions where judges have bias. I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. I was in college, and I was a public speaker. I don't know why I wasn't as good at my videos way back then when I was in public speaking competitions in college. But this is how I knew it was over for me, and I should have had Chrysocolla at the time. So I was basically, the judges were all very, very overweight, and my speech was on why America should be getting taught better dietary, just different dietary information, because of it wasn't good. It was not good. I've had personal trainers approach, because that's when I was getting into personal training at the time. I was learning about personal training in college, and I'm like, yeah, health. I'm like, I think it's good for the youth to learn about how not to slack off on diet, or because there are people who are overweight, and only if they didn't learn when they were younger, they wouldn't be overweight now. So I thought that was a wonderful speech. I got up there with all the judges. we're just kind of like, I'm like, oh no, I actually forgot I forgot my speech halfway through, but this crystal is actually very good for memory. It's very good for fluidity. It's very good. If the way I talk changes on this video, it's just because it makes you so happy and makes you so fluid, and just really, it taps into that divine feminine. And if, listen to me right now, for those macho men, like, I don't need to tap into my feminine. There's a universal law that states you have to tap into the feminine and you have to tap into the masculine. If you don't, everything's going to be off. Your friendships will be off. Your love life will be off. Your finances will be off. Everything will be off if you don't balance the masculine and feminine. We literally have two sides of our body. One governs the yin, the green side. This is the yin. In Chinese meridians, there's a feminine side of the body and there's a masculine side of the body. God created man in his image, and he made them, man and woman, to have a masculine and feminine. Without that, there's no perfect balance. You're not going to live in harmony. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you think you'd be 100% masculine or 100% feminine. So for the men who are afraid to work with feminine crystals, those, because I have seen that as of recently. Because I'm on the beach very often, and I'm like, oh, what's this crystal do? It's like, it's this divine feminine. Like, oh, no, dude, no, bro, I can't do that. I'm like, listen, that directly correlates to abundance blockages. Money will stop coming in because you cut off half of the circulation to your heart chakra. Remember, there's two colors, the pink and the green. You have to correct the masculine and feminine energies. And this, it's not just a crystal of the divine feminine. It actually helps incorporate the masculine into the feminine. And it's kind of like, there's different sides of this. It's kind of like the earth being nourished by the waters, if that makes sense. Under the firmament in heaven, basically, the crystal is, like, just from a space point of view, whatever you want to call it, because I know I have different people from different backgrounds joining my video, but under the space point of view, it's basically everything harmonizing. It's as simple. This is a very simple crystal. When you go to speak with this crystal, your true self will come out. You'll feel very, like, you'll just feel at ease. You'll feel just a passion. There are so many people who look at this bracelet on my website and they're like, I don't know why. It's not even the color. But there is something about this bracelet that I have to have, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I've never heard of this stone before. I'm so attracted to it, and I'm like, well, if you are around someone if you're a speaker and you're around people very often, it makes your words change. When you everything we say, when we talk with our tongue, it's basically an extension of the vibration in our minds. So when we take, and the brain is constantly emitting electricity on a both physical and spiritual scale that can be measured. When you take a thought and you communicate it into reality, guess what happens? You put out your word in the world, and then it comes back to you. This crystal, after you have this crystal on you, Chrysocolla, sometimes, just when you go out in public wearing this crystal, like, everyone, when they talk to you, they're just gonna be like, I don't know why, but, like, especially people are going to change, like, their entire hearing. Have you ever heard of when people have selective hearing? So it's basically, I used to do this in when I was in college or in high school. They would call on me when I wasn't paying attention, and if I relied solely on the selective hearing of the professor or of the teacher, I was just going, and they'd be like, yep, that's the correct answer, it's C. I'm like, same thing with this. Even if you fumble on your words, with Chrysocolla, it helps autopilot your speech. It helps correct your speech. It helps you really speak from the soul. So how many times, or how many of you are out here in this world and you really have a passion about something? Maybe you like knitting, maybe you like doing crafts, but the people around you, they're not right for you. This stone is not going to remove those people. If you want that kind of crystal, it's black tourmaline, but you're really ready to talk to people and find more people. And this is a good crystal for friendships as well, because when you talk to people, your speech, the way you talk, is going to be perceived in a way that you're passionate, that you feel good, that you're just so fully connected. You're you're gonna feel confident with your speech. This is not blue chalcedony, if I'm even saying that right. This is not blue lace agate, but it is a very, very, it's just it's this chakra right here. It's in between the heart and throat. It's somewhere between here. It's like you can imagine it as this color. It's really hard to explain to people, and it really just helps you speak differently. It helps you tap into a very nurturing element. If you are someone who feels like you have trauma, or you have like emotional like pain or whatever, or like you're really struggling with your emotions, look what goes on in this crystal. It's literally a harmonizing. It's being mixed in, it's being broken apart. Anything that is blocking you is going to be ripped apart very gently with a soft, nurturing water, like energies of the stone, and you're just going to feel at home in your own body, in your own soul. Most of you are, and not the people on my video specifically, but so many people in this world are out here not living their truth, not living their passion, and people are using their entire lives. They're built from the second when they wake up in the day to when they go to bed, and they're miserable. They're flat out miserable because they're afraid to speak their truth. They're afraid to be around better people. They're afraid to find people who actually accept what their passions are. Like if you let's just say that, because when I was in university, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm in biology classes and I'm talking to people about spirituality and crystals, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't exist. And back then, I'm like, people would laugh at me. They would be like, you think spirits exist? I'm like, yeah, at this point in time, if I were to look back and talk to them, I'm like, for the people who are laughing at me saying, oh, you think spirits exist? I'm like, yeah, you have some bad, like, at this point in time, I would look back and say, hey, yeah, you got some bad spirits around you and they're pushing you away from your spirituality. Back then, I was just kind of like, I wasn't as good at communicating. I didn't wear as many throat chakra crystals. It really helps you have a fluidity about your truth and speak the words you really want to speak. It's wonderful. There's not too much to be said about this crystal. This is one of the best crystals ever. Also, if you're a singer, or you're someone who's really tapping into a song that you sing, this has to be one of the best crystals as well. If you can look at way older videos, I was never able to sing. I've never had a singing voice, and after working with certain crystals and certain throat chakra crystals, I was able to sing. I'm not saying I could sing now, but my voice is free. Like, I just feel more free. I don't care if I know how to sing or if I don't know how to sing. I just feel good singing. And you guys will just feel... Because how many of you... I use singing as an example, because people are like... How could you sing on YouTube? I'm so afraid to sing. Like, I don't want people to see my voice. I sing in the shower sometimes. Like, listen. If you're afraid... Like, listen. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're afraid to sing... even by yourself in front of your family, this crystal is going to help that. It doesn't care. It does not matter if people laugh at you when you sing. Guess what? When you sing, you actually purify your voice, your throat chakra. You purify vibrations, and you really let out just a happy, feel good feeling into the environment. If I had a better song, I don't know. I'm not gonna like Mariah Carey on the mic over here. But this is a new mic. I don't know. I'm not. Like I said, I'm still getting set up with my setup. If you notice in this video, I'm a lot more free and just like kind of. Ooh, I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling myself. This crystal, if you feel like you've been encaged in your own personality, this helps you feel extra free. When you wear Chrysocolla, you just feel like, oh, cool. I just get to be myself, and I get to just be free. And literally, God made us. Do you think God made humans to suffer? No, He made us to enjoy our existence and just be happy and just feel good and flow and tap into different sides of ourselves and really speak our truth and live our heart's desires. Do whatever we would like to do. It doesn't even matter. This crystal is so good at just helping you. I truly believe one of the ways it helps enchant your words to have more of a beautiful speech, more of just feeling wonderful and fluid in the world, is because it just resets some really damaging societal programming, which I talked about in my last video. Oh, this crystal, just by holding it, I feel euphoric. I just feel euphoric just by holding the stone. I don't know what this crystal helps you guys feel, but I feel good. Even if you just, because sometimes people are like, well, if you're already wearing the crystal, then why are you still feeling a little more when you're holding it? Well, the palm chakras are some of the most sensitive chakras. So when you hold a stone that you're already wearing, you're going to tap into the crystal's energy very differently when it's on your left and versus when it's on your right. That's why they have stones that are literally called palm stones or worry stones, so people grab them. But I don't think anyone should be grabbing a crystal such as like red jasper or something when they're mad, because that becomes not a friendly crystal at that point. But if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. This crystal, just by holding it, makes me feel so good. And guess what? When you feel good, you do good. I mean, that's a little secret. So if you, I have this on my website as a bracelet. It's a lot more disguised as a bracelet than as a stone, because you're getting everything blended together. I will have this on the Golden series. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. The energy of this crystal is just so free. If you feel like you need to be free, this crystal is going to be for you. If you ever pay attention to some of my videos where I talk about different crystals, you might see me have a different aspect of my personality fully come out onto the video. So you're like, huh, he was really calm in this video, and he's really just so feeling good in this video. It's because these different crystals just emit a certain property or an energy. It was when you fully tap into it, you're just like, oh, I feel good, and it doesn't matter what's happening outside of here, because I feel good in here. So, and in here, remember, this is a heart chakra stone and a throat chakra stone. If you have trouble remembering it, just think of it as a stone of enchanting your personality, enchanting your speech, setting you free, the divine feminine, everyone has a different way of remembering it. This is a little more of a tricky stone to remember. That's why I have you guys remember it for yourselves. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!